So if you haven't done so already, or if your life hasn't taken you in this direction already, take some time to learn how to do some basic first aid, training, learn how to clear a basic airway, learn how to stop a basic, you know, um, stop bleeding, learn how to perform the Heimlich maneuver, CPR. I mean, I think that we have some sort of inherent responsibility in life to know how to be able to render aid to someone else's life if the situation should calls for it. And we should be so familiar with the process that we need not panic in the situation, but instead respond with accuracy and precision to help someone prolong life, in these situations. And I've heard a many of story and seen a many a video where people see tragedies transpire right in front of their very person, but they themselves don't hold a level of education to be able to render a response. And of course, I'm going to say that, right? Because being EOD, being in the military, being in the bomb squad, that's part of what we do. We do render aid. We do help save lives on the battlefields by way of delivering those life-saving steps, which would be clearing your airway, stopping bleeding, assisting or putting on a tourniquet to someone's limbs who's blown off, right? There could be any level of trauma that's associated with being on the battlefield. But we prep for this through very strenuous and arduous military training, meaning that I can remember Sergeant Anthony going to my basic medical course that was 7 or 8 days long, that then transitioned into a live tissue training course. And this was interesting because the military isn't a place where they're going to prep you for something as crazy as this, but there's a place where you're going to get that training anyway. But picture if you were going to a training venue and when you showed up in the middle of a cornfield somewhere, there were 8 medical grade pigs laid out on a table, hooked up to IVs or and different type of life-saving mechanisms. And then you go through, after completing your basic and intermediate medical training, and save this pig's life after the instructors put the pig through a series of trauma and mounting traumatic aspects, if you will, shooting the pig, stabbing the pig, cutting the pig's arteries, whatever it is, and you save that pig's life. And you save it over and over and over again to make sure that those skills are translatable on the battlefield, right? And so when you go through and have that type of training on live tissue and you develop and gain that type of confidence from what you've done through the training, of course, and for those of you all who don't know or who aren't aware, we do choose the pig because the pig's physical anatomy is much like a human's anatomy. So this is the closest representation that you can get without working on another human being. But those skills translate greatly to saving lives on the battle scale. And I'm going to go as far as to say that if you had the ability to render CPR or render any type of first or basic immediate aid to a situation, you too can also save lives. So make yourself equipped because you probably have a family, you probably have friends, you probably have loved ones, and you definitely want to make sure that you're an instrument of progression if a situation like that comes around. Get right. Let's go.